Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Brothers channel. I'm one brother.
Hello, everybody, and I'm the second brother. Welcome to another exciting episode. This is going to be a continuation of the one we started last week. Oh, there you go, Mr. Phil. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kinleye. At least there's something to say about that intro. I'm still on that intro. There's something to say about that intro. And what is it? That nowhere else on YouTube you will hear that intro. It's ours.
And if you do, you know where they got it from.
You know, no one else has it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like Mr. Kinleye said, this is part 2 of paradigm shifts. If you've not seen part 1, go and see part 1, because we broke down what paradigm shift meant. We looked at the ages, how things changed from the Stone Age to the Iron Age to the Bronze Age, the Stone Age to the Bronze Age to the Iron Age to the Agricultural Age to the Industrial Age to the Computer Age to the Information Age, and now to the Entrepreneurial Age. You know, so many things are, and we're now going into the AI age. Lord have mercy. Now, what I noticed, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that I have lived long enough to see so many changes. And sometimes, Mr. Kinleye, you see, what I find is that sometimes I'm talking to people and I don't realize that they're in their 30s or mid-20s and they have no idea of what I'm talking about, of a world that didn't have internet. They had no idea of a world where we had to basically mail. I remember when I was a teenager, we used to have what was called pen pals. Imagine pen pals. Now, let me tell you what pen pals is to you guys that are listening to this. This sounds so archaic, but that was the technology then where we had. A pen pal was me in Nigeria writing someone my age in somewhere in Germany or somewhere in America, okay? And then to write them, I will get an airmail sheet of paper. And I will write in it, fold it, take it to the post office in Nigeria and post it. And that thing could take maybe 2 months to get to my pen pal. Then my pen pal will reply me. Maybe I will get a reply in another 2 months if I'm lucky. Maybe 6 months. You're now living in a world nowadays where you just get on WhatsApp. It gets there instantly. To show you how things have progressed. I was in the UK when they said the internet was coming. We keep saying this story. The internet is coming. And what we have today, there's no way in my wildest dreams I would have been able to imagine that we're going to be doing. They said we're going to be shopping on the internet, but I didn't understand. I couldn't fathom how, in short, the scope that is in reality, I couldn't have imagined it. Then talk about interpersonal relationships, dating apps, you know, things like Facebook, things like Instagram, things like, right now, it has changed everything. So for someone that is born recently, they'll think that's how it's always been. I remember when only rich people had a mobile phone. Only billionaires had a mobile phone. If you had a mobile phone, you were automatically a millionaire. Forget the fact that it was as big as a briefcase. At least you had one. Mr. Claire, say a few things.
Oh yes, oh yes. You know, well, every time you're talking there, I'm just imagining. I remember what it was like in the 80s, the 90s. I think mobile phones came out in the 90s or, late 80s, 90s, and they were big. They were big. The battery was as the size of a briefcase, so you have to carry the battery around. Like you have to literally carry the briefcase around. Wow, technology has come a long way, Mr. True. Technology has come a long way. And I remember, if you went to visit a friend and they went home, you had to leave them a note, and then the door or somewhere like that. You couldn't just phone them and say, "Where are you? I'm at your door. Where are you?" So all those things that we take for granted nowadays, a lot of things we take for granted. And I'm sure most of you are imagining, what? What do you mean there was no mobile phones? What do you mean you couldn't shop online? What do you mean I can't WhatsApp somebody? Texting. What was texting? So I can just imagine, it fills me with hope to see what the future is going to hold, because if we can come in 20 years or roughly 20, well, let's say 40 years, we've come this far. Just imagine where we'll be in the next 40 years. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
Honestly, where we'll be in the next 40 years is going to be, we can't imagine. And the reason why I'm saying this is this. You see, from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age took hundreds of years. I know I've spoken this before, but let me just go through it again to lay the foundation. From the Bronze Age to the Iron Age took hundreds of years. From the Iron Age to the agriculture took hundreds of years. Industrial Revolution came and it took maybe 150 years. But the moment in, I believe, 1970, maybe 75 onwards, computer revolution hit. Then this thing started accelerating. It didn't take hundreds of years anymore. It took maybe 50 years. Now it's taking 30 years. Now we're in the world of apps. You'll be shocked. I think if you can check for me, Mr. Clay, I don't even think Instagram has been with us for 20 years. I don't think Twitter has been with us for 20 years.
No, definitely not.
I don't think all this new technology, WhatsApp, hasn't been up even 20 years. These are all recent. These are all things that are happening. So the paradigm shift is happening quicker and quicker, ladies and gentlemen. The point I'm trying to make is this. All that is happening with this paradigm shift is technology is changing, and there's one word: acceleration. Everything is getting faster.
2010.
2010. Instagram. For which one?
Instagram.
Instagram was 2010. What about Twitter?
Twitter was...
We're waiting for Mr. Clay. No, because it's important, because you see, you think Twitter Instagram has been with us forever. It's only been less than 15 years, 12 years. Yep. 2010, 11 years maximum. So anyway, sorry.
2006, 15 years.
2006. Yeah. So that's like 19 years, something like that. Yeah. Or 15
years ago.
15 years ago. Okay. So the point I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're living in a world now where things are accelerating. And so the ages and the paradigm shift is happening quicker and 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 quicker. And what it is, though, is that human beings, in juxtaposed to that, remain the same. So what do I mean? I know I've touched this before, but let me go through it again, because there's a point to be made. If you were born in the Stone Age, you'll be the same you are today. The only thing is that you will not have the tools you have. But the interpersonal relationship things will still be happening. So human beings are generally the same. What is changing is what human beings can use. So if you are a good person, you have more tools to be good. If you're a bad person, using bad in quotes, that means that you're going to have more tools to use. The Bible said that something happened and the whole world saw it at once. Do you know that we're actually living in that day now, where anything happens in the world, we all see it all at once? I remember reading the Bible years ago when I was a teenager, and it said the whole world will see it at once when this thing happens. And I was like, how is that possible? As a teenager, I couldn't imagine the whole world seeing anything at once at the same time. He said, I mean, oh, maybe these people will. No. He said, everybody will see that as it is happening, not recorded. No, as it is happening. Don't we have Facebook Live now? Don't you have Instagram Live now? Beaming all around the world instantly. We're living in biblical days. We are literally living in biblical days. Something that looks like madness before. Mr. Claire, what are your thoughts?
That's right. That's right. I remember reading that first time I read it in the Bible, and you struggle to imagine what kind of technology or what kind of. You just have to go spiritual, and you say this is the spirit. You know,
the spirit will somehow make it happen.
Yeah, so you will see it in the spirit.
Yeah, we will see it in the spirit. Yeah, we will all see it in the spirit. Like, oh, God.
But so while you were talking, like the quote that came to mind, some people make things happen, while some people watch things that are happening. Yeah. Some people hear about things that are happening. Some people don't even know anything happened. In the same...
Some people wonder what the heck happened.
What the heck? In the same boat. And we're talking about to those that are making things happen. So make sure you're one of those that are making things happen. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
Ladies and gentlemen, what Mr. Claire is saying there is that change will happen, whether you like it or not. The only constant in life is change. The best thing you can do with change is to embrace it. One of the things I've learned this year, and if I did not have the culture and the discipline of reading, I wouldn't have learned it this year. But one thing I've learned about this year is that the level of suffering in your life is directly proportional to the change that you resist. Let me repeat that.
Say that again. Say that again.
The level of pain and struggle in your life is directly proportional to the change in your life that you resist.
Wow. That's powerful.
I learned that this year, Mr. Claire, from reading. So that means that if you want to eradicate pain and struggle in your life, learn to embrace change very quickly. Learn to just go with it. Learn to choose what is happening. Because the pain in your life and the struggle in your life will be directly proportional to the change that you're resisting. Mr. Mia and Mr. Claire were saying that our divorce was one of the big struggles in our life. It finally dawned on me, I finally learned that the reason why it was a struggle was because we didn't want it. We resisted it. Deep down, when that change came, it wasn't what we wanted. We didn't want to get divorced. Which sounds like, of course, you shouldn't want to get divorced. Which, of course, it sounds like, but again, I'm just using that as an example. The pain in that experience was directly proportional to the resistance to it. The moment we cross to the point where we're like, well, what's happened has happened. We didn't want it, but hey, life goes on. Then the struggle reduced. And you find out with everything in life. I don't know why I used our divorce, but here it is what it is. You can use other things. No, because something about me is that sometimes I like to go for the big honcho, the biggest. Mr. Clay is smiling.
Yes, Mr. Drew. Definitely. The divorce. Because I was just thinking that maybe your ex wouldn't agree with you. She didn't think you resisted that one too tough.
You didn't think I resisted? You see, one thing with life.
No, I was just I know exactly what you mean. I was just
okay. Let's leave it. No, you don't want me to explain.
No, you don't have to. No. Let's leave it there. because
maybe that's another video.
The thing is, I would like to bring that to what happens even in most workplaces or even in families when things are happening and events are unfolding. And you see change coming and you resist it. You don't want it. You don't want it. You raise up a resistance. You don't even know where it comes from, but you just think, no. Even if it's just, can you move your bed from here to there? It's like, no. Why must I move my bed? But the amazing thing is, I've actually grown enough to say, bring the change, because I will find the good in this change. And the minute I focus on the benefits of the change, it changes the whole color of the room. Opportunities in the change are more exciting than where I am right now. So I get excited about, so that's, and that I wasn't born that way. No, you don't get away from saying, yeah, that's how you were born. It's all right, Mr. Leye. That's how you were born. No, I was not born that way. It's something that I've grown into from the books, from the tapes, from association. I've grown into that. So when it comes to, because there was a time they offered me something to do at work. And when they offer you something to do at work, nobody else wants to do it. And they offer it to you. And you look left, you look right, like, am I the mumu? Why me? Why? But you take it on, and you take it on with a smile, and you take it on with the right attitude. Man, isn't it a surprise when it comes to redundancies, they don't look your way? Isn't it a surprise when it comes to pay rises, they always give it to you? They give it to you and they say, don't tell anyone I got
it. We're actually going to do we're going to do an episode on Mr. Clay's rise in the corporate world. Because I think that is especially the way you started. And you used pure personal development instead of technical skills to rise. Your story is definitely something we should look into, because there's got a lot of lessons to be learned. And what is very clear is that when we're talking about paradigm shifts and we're talking about change, when change is coming, when change hits you, the most important thing that you have to understand, which myself and Mr. Clay are telling you, is that we rely on the principles, not the method or the procedures. The principles of, again, I know it's redundant, I know you've read it before, reading. The principles of getting in information, of working on ourselves more than we do on the job.
That's it. That's the one.
Please, Mr. Clay.
No, I said that's it. That is the one. I'm just agreeing with you, because
thank you. The mistake most people make is that I've seen so many people do it so many times. They start reading and you'll be like, great. They start seeing the results. You'll be like, wonderful. They will call you and they'll be like, my life is changing. And amazingly, they stop. They get to a point where they think, I know enough now. I think I've got this. Big mistake. Big, huge, because the reason why myself and Mr. Clay can keep going on like this is because it is a discipline that we're going to do till we do that. I'm never going to say, oh, I've read so many books that I now know enough. And the other type of people that we see are the people that will come humbly. Oh, okay, yes, yes, yes. When they see, when you tell them, they think they're smart, then they will stop, they will listen to you a bit, they will go to the world, then the world will slap them, things will happen to them, then they'll call you like, yes, how are you doing? Yeah, are you still this? Then they will listen to you for a while. They will ask you questions, you answer them. Then suddenly they'll be like, I've got it. Thank you very much. Now I understand it. Off they go again. Only to come back maybe years later again, humble again. And you're wondering, who are you fooling? All you needed to do is cultivate the habit, stop trying to use methods to control all this change that is coming, all this change that is around you. All this, you get what I'm saying? Just stick with the principle. Because again, all this change will happen, what will remain the same is human beings. Again, as human beings remain the same, what would change is the tools that they now have. And I'm telling you guys, I've said it before, that in the future, each one of us will have our own personal slave. Now, when you have your own personal slave in the form of AI, well, like Mr. Kennedy said, change is coming. And like I've said, there's a good side to change and there's a bad side to change. And what you need to do is basically know how to navigate. Okay? Some people are saying that AI will end up killing human beings. Some people are saying that AI will end up enhancing human beings. Who knows? That's not something you and I can control. What we can control is what we can do with the tools when it comes. So let's put that one to one side. So when the tool comes, though, again, the rich will get richer if they have better strategies than you. And the poor will get poorer. Because again, when labor is cheap, it's what, okay, so we now have the capacity to build and create anything. Okay, what will matter in that case is what you ask your AI to do. If you don't have any idea to tell your AI to create, there's nothing to create. But the guy that has the idea that is going to tell his AI to create and impact other people's life, then becomes the winner. Then you start moaning. You start being like, oh, AI is not good. No, not AI is not good. You're not equipped. Mr. Clay.
Wow, that is, when you were talking there, what came to mind was the fact that we already have our personal slaves. It's your mobile phone.
Thank you.
And I remember growing up, like Mr. Phil was saying, there was a time where you didn't have all the information in the world on your phone. You had to go and register with the library and pray that that library has the book you want. And if they don't have it, they will order it in, and it might take weeks. And then you have to get the book and read it. Look at how much time that takes. But now you can just go on your phone, find the book, either order it, or even start reading it on PDF straight away, or even get your audio book, straight away. So it doesn't negate the fact that you're needed. You will be needed. And you already have your slave. You already have. So there's no excuse. Literally, there's no excuse. But where Mr. Phil and I are coming from is reminding you that, your personal development is what differentiates you from everybody else. Just like this week, we had a management meeting where they got guest speaker in, and they were teaching us how to, progress in our careers. And guess what they were saying, Mr. Phil? You will not believe it.
Let me guess. personal development.
If they say personal development,
It's too big.
it's not the kind of setting, it's
Okay.
they won't say personal development, although that's what they're saying, but they won't say
Okay.
that.
Okay, so let me guess.
The
They
whole
said,
program was personal development.
yeah, so they'll say, work on yourself then.
Yes. By
Okay,
doing
for the sake of time, tell us what they said.
because I know you were getting excited trying to guess. They were saying, smile, Mr. Phil.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
The basic of the basic of the basic.
I was like sitting there thinking, my God. Smile.
This is the $10 billion question.
Apparently, if you smile now, you look like you're clever if you smile.
The basic of the basic of the basic of the basic
book I was given. The very first book I was given, that was what he said to do, smile. And that was like almost 40, 30 something years ago. So what I'm telling you, Mr. Phil, is the information we've been bred on, the information that when if you focus will come out of us, are the things that executives are being taught how to smile, how to be inviting, how to listen, how to, be engaging, how to network, So.
Wow. We see, when we say we're light years ahead, some people think that we're saying that because we're full of ourselves. We like the smell of our own fart. You know what I'm saying? That's what they think. But, well, because we started that when you were 17 there. That's when we started, and we actively went out smiling. That even people jumped out and said, why did people jump smiling? To us, that's the basic. And so for us to, because I know the level you are in corporate UK. I know the level. You are top management, top management level. And to hear that they're telling you to smile. Over to you, Mr. Clay. Let me laugh here.
But the thing is, the teachings that you're getting, don't underestimate it. The training that you're getting from these two brothers' channel, the ideas, the things we're telling you to focus on, don't underestimate it. Because the minute you start making it a part of your lifestyle, you can't stop the results. You cannot stop the results, because the results will prove themselves over the years, they will prove themselves. Because what the exciting thing about this is, when you make it a habit, when you make it something that you do daily, and you don't stop, even when you know you've gotten it, I know to smile, but you keep topping up, Guess what? You're becoming? You're becoming unstoppable. You're becoming unstoppable. I'm getting to the level now, Mr. Phil, believe it or not. I'm getting to the level now where I am actually imagining things and they're becoming reality.
That's where we are. That's where we are.
It's like magic. I'm saying, okay, this is what I want. I'm designing, I'm writing the goals down. Because before, I used to be scared to go to set goals. My paradigms was like, if I set the goal, I know it's not going to come true. What's the point? It was torture. So I was scared. It was like, okay, what do you want? I don't want anything because I can't do anything.
But now,
I write the goal and I know already how it's going to happen. Even before it happens, I'm already calling it. I'm already telling it. And then it happens and I'm like, oh, wow. So that's how exciting this is. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
And that's so beautiful because here you are hearing Mr. Clare say that the very things that he's creating now used to scare him, but he's stuck in long enough that the very things that used to scare him before now excite him. It's not something he looks forward to. And so that's what, see, another thing again is this, as we go into the future, I want to leave you guys with this, and we're going to round up in a minute, is that we've shown that the paradigm shift means changes. And really, changes in technology is the most prominent of it. But the principle remains the same. Technologies are methods, but the principles remains the same. That's why we went into smiling. That never changed. The personal development of discipline never changed. The tools change, but that's so. Again, hold on to the principles. Embrace the change. Hold on to the principles, and you'll be okay. The alternative is to try and figure out, oh, where is it going to go next? And ladies and gentlemen, I actually tried. Remember, Mr. Clay, you know where we tried? When we were giving disc to go into the market and tell people that the internet was coming. I remember that one. We had this little compact disc.
E-commerce is coming.
E-commerce. And ladies and gentlemen, I was ready. I was going to catch this e-commerce. I was going to catch it. It was not going to go past me. Honestly. When e-commerce came, I was looking at it like a comet in the sky. It was so far from me.
It was more like, you know, they said e-commerce was coming. You're going to be able to buy and sell on the internet. You have your own business, right?
You have a shop online. I was thinking of a small shop.
We were thinking, okay, what does that mean? Okay, maybe what this means is all these corner shops will have their own online presence.
Yeah.
So we were going to the corner shop owners. We were telling the corner shop owners that, listen, it's very soon you're going to be online. You're going to be able to, and nobody will be coming to your shop anymore. They'll be buying online, and you know, and the guys were looking at us like, these Indians, most of the shop owners were Indians. And they were looking at us like,
poor guys.
What kind of drug are these guys taking?
Thank you. They smoke before coming up. Now, Mr. Clare, you see, we didn't see Amazon. We did not see Amazon. We did not see eBay. We did not see any of these sites. What we saw was the corner shop that we have a presence online. That's the biggest. Now, Amazon, you can buy. We didn't see Alibaba. We didn't see nothing. So that's why I said it was like looking at a comet.
We didn't see
That's how far it was from us.
We didn't see Jumia for those in Africa.
Sorry?
For those in Africa, we didn't see Jumia.
So they have Jumia. I didn't even know there's something like that.
They have Jumia.
Okay. We didn't see nothing like that. And they did tell us, Mr. Clay, they did tell us then, they said, look, if you're not big, they said, think as big as you can. You're still not thinking big. They told us then. And we're like, big.
And we're like, oh, we're big, it's big, it's big.
Okay. Now, the reason why we're saying that is that we shouldn't have bothered, Mr. Clay. We shouldn't have bothered.
We didn't know we were holding a spoon. You know,
to the shore.
The flood is coming. Come and grab some. And we're running with a spoon, and we thought we were gonna catch something.
And the long and short of it is that what we should have done, which is what we're going to advise you guys, is let the change come, work on yourself. Because you have better chance when you are better equipped to now look at what is in front of you and take advantage of it, rather than where you are now trying to move and trying to catch. No, this thing is too big for you. You don't have an idea. So what we're saying, what you can change is on the inside. What's going to happen on the outside will happen on the outside. The real change that will be profitable for you is the change in the inside, Mr. Clare.
And that is the real paradigm shifting.
Woo!
The personal paradigm that shifts. if I tell you the growth that's happened inside of me since I was a teenager, since I got access to this information, and the things I was able to bounce over, the things I was able to leap over, complete trajectory that they did not even apply to me. In a way, it applied to everybody else, but when it comes to me, it's a different story, you know. And I say that with, to say that, you should be excited about your future if you're on this path and you continue to grow beyond this path. Because what Mr. Phil was saying there is the more you develop yourself, whatever comes to you. Mr. Phil, you remember that book that you recommended I read last week?
Yeah.
I've been listening to it on your book. And isn't that amazing? It's like the paradigm shift that guy went through, and the fact that he's the one, okay, for example, now, if you become a billionaire, do you think you're going to keep hold of the money? Let me ask you guys the question. Billionaire just had £1 billion just enter your account. You won't be able to sleep because you'll be watching it like with your eyes like this. Somebody's going to come and take it because you don't have the skill or the growth to handle it.
One thing that we don't appreciate is that with a lot of people don't appreciate that they think that money just sits in bank accounts. No. The moment that money is being wired to your bank account, companies are alerted. What do I mean? It is their job to know who has the money. Exactly. You will just be surprised. The first you just see your email, an email will just come. Offer this, offer that. That's how it begins. Before you know it, people will be knocking your door. Go. Sorry, excuse me. We have amazing yachts for sale. You'll be like, what do I want to do with yours? Just come for free. They will treat you to dinner. They will treat you to what? Before you know it, that billion in your bank account, you're swimming with the sharks.
Sharks. When they say sharks, it means sharks.
Look, if you're a guy, they will knock on your door. Go. A guy with 6 girls and a champagne. We were just in your area. How you doing? You don't know what plans they've got for you.
And that's it.
It's a different world. What will protect you is your skill and your development. That is why lottery winners end up broke in a few years. Mr. Clay.
That's it, Mr. Phil. That is by God. Lottery winners end up worse than they were. They win the lottery, happily married before.
We both laughed at the same time. Happily married.
Money later, divorced, gone separate ways, and they're both probably worse off and in debt than they were before they won the lottery.
Definitely.
We can keep going all night. Trust me, this is
So we're gonna put brings to a round up. To round off, all I'll just say is that the last thing I'm gonna leave with you is this: the paradigm has also shifted from group think to individual think. The days of looking at what the majority are doing and think there is safety in numbers is gone. Right now, in today's world, the paradigm has shifted from safety in numbers. There's no safety in numbers anymore. As a matter of fact, if everyone is going in this direction, Mr. Phil needs to be going in that direction for a fact. Because another paradigm that has happened is that in the midst of too much information, the skill that is actually very useful is knowing what information to go for. Because there's misinformation out there to engage you for years. You will go through a rabbit hole and you come out on Mars. Do you get what I'm saying? Completely missing the mark. Okay? Again, what will save you? Back to the basic. Back to the fundamentals. Back to personal development. Back to motive. You're keeping your motives pure. Your history, watching your track record, making sure that your track record speaks well of you. And your example, other people are watching you, other people are following you. What example are they following? When you say, I will go, what results are you showing? And are they worth emulating? That's the example. When people follow you, do they come back all scratched, cut, bleeding, nearly dead? Or when people follow you, when they come back, do they look healthier, stronger, more together? That's your example right there. Okay? So, like we said, paradigm is shifting and it's going to accelerate more. The next thing that will happen is that you will have more tools at your disposal. YouTube is a tool that we didn't have before. Now, through YouTube, everybody on earth can have their own TV station. Can you imagine that?
Powerful.
Wow.
Powerful.
WhatsApp is there. Zoom is there. Twitter is there. TikTok is there. Everything is there. Those are tools accelerating things. Okay? And as they're accelerating, they're only going to be effective proportional to how you personally are developed. So again, you can't hide, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You can't put it under the bush. You can't put it under, you can't fake it. No, it has to be for real. Okay, Mr. Clay, round up and then we'll close this one out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For real, for real. There's no faking it. This is a journey that continues to give, and you continue to grow. And when somebody leaves you today, they're not going to meet the same you in 2 years' time. So, continue this journey. I encourage you personally. I'm not even talking about Mr. Phil. I'm talking for me and what this journey has done for my life. So I encourage you to continue on this journey. A daily discipline, daily set of yourselves. And I will see you at the top. Okay? I look forward to meeting you guys, all of you. Over and out. Back to you, Mr. Phil.
Mr. Clay said that phrase, that will see you at the top. That is the phrase our mentors used to tell us. And I used to tell myself, oh God, help me make sure I'm at that top so that they will see me there with them. Help me make sure that I don't miss that boat. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, today that I didn't need to worry. All I needed to worry is that, was I going to pay the price? Was I going to stick with the disciplines? Was I going to, because the rest will take care of itself. Like Mr. Kinley said, we still recommend books to each other 35 years down the road. And like Mr. Kinley reminded me, when we started this journey, everyone around us looked at us weird. What are these people doing? Just go and get your degree, go and get your job and be fine. Is that too hard? Where is that plan today? So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we have introduced to you what paradigm shift is, what it means, the impact on our lives, what it means in the past, present, and what it will mean in the future. We're going to be touching other things that we've touched here in other things, in other episodes. But, that's enough to start you on this journey now, okay? So don't just stop there. If you want, please go on the internet. You have it at your disposal now. Oh, let me actually leave you with this story. One of the things that I used to, my dad, bless his soul, he passed away in 1994. And one of my pet hates was my dad. We love to argue with my dad. Mr. Clay, remember our arguments with my dad.
All the
And
time.
my dad will be obviously wrong. And I will know he's wrong. But because what we're talking about, there was no internet then. Bless my dad. So one of the things he did and he had was encyclopedias. You know, my dad had encyclopedias. So if you wanted to know anything, you go to the encyclopedia, go to the index paradigm, look in the index, and that's how it was. Now, in today's world, you just get your mobile phone, boom, 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 boom. So when I used to argue with my dad, then I used to be so, there's no way to prove that he's wrong. There's no way to prove that I'm right. There's no way. Now, look at the paradigm now. When my children know me now, whenever we are arguing, I'll just say, who's got Google? Argument solver instantly. So in my own time with my children, no more arguments. What did Google say? And if Google, actually, sometimes Google can be funny as well. Google can be funny. So we have to cross-reference with other things. But at least we have something to stop the arguments. That's another paradigm shift, you know. So, you know, we have fun with this. Okay. I wish I had Google when my dad was alive. Oh, I wish I had Google. I wish I had Google. Well, that's 1994, you know. We didn't have anything like that. But so on that note, we hope we have introduced paradigm shift to you, and go and investigate further, equip yourself further. And like Mr. Kinley says, see you at the top.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Peace and love.